Yep. It's on the Woodhead Pass. Just had about 600-metre extension added each way to the tutor today. I normally park in a little sort of off shot. It's all stoned off. A bit of a blow, but I've just had to park in a lay-by about 600 metres further down the road. So it was about a 5.5 to 6 mile walk. It'll now be a 6.5 to 7 mile walk, I guess. But, not to worry. So we're going up there, which is Tintwhistle Knarr. So I'm gonna. It's a hike I've done a few times. Across the road and up, and there's a set of switchbacks. The first mile, over a mile, is actually uphill, constant. Alright, this is where I normally park. Obviously they can sort of get in to access that, but I ain't got access, but normally park in there. Bit of a blow, but now I know. So that's it. That's the technically the start of the walk now. So uphill for a mile. Up the switchbacks and cut up onto the top. Right. So then the first switchback. If you want to be extreme, just cut straight up there. Right, second switchback. Start of the final switchback. We're going through that gate and up, takes you up through the diagonally up basically to the top of that. So the plan now is to say I'm going up here, I've done the switchbacks, going up here, that puts me eventually up onto the plateau, turn back on myself and go in about 100 metres. Takes me to the Lightning Wreck, and then 500 metres northwest of that roughly is the Lancaster. And then I'm going to follow it around, I'm going to contour it round to the head of the clough, what's at the other side of this, to cross it, go down to Anfield Flats for the Chipmunk. Follow the clough down, should intersect a path what's going to bring me back up, and then intersect this fence line, pick up the Hurricane, back down this way, pick up the Memorial, and then backtrack to Carr, which is down yonder. Simple as that, really. So over this stile and then through this sort of little wooded section, sort of climbing all the time. You come to a bit of a cliff face, like an old quarry area, and it does make a waterfall in winter after a very heavy rain, but there'll be certainly nothing over it today, I won't imagine. Yeah, so I'll say that's Brammer Edge, Torside Castle and everything over there. There's the L20 Beaver on this cliff face, very little of it. Torside Clough takes you up onto Sykes Moor, so that's where the Blenheim is on there. Sort of levelled out a little bit, but we're not done the climb yet. It's not major, it's just a gradual plod. So it goes on for about a mile, just over from the road, continuous up really. So then it sort of levels out onto the top of Tintwhistle now. Got the old factor 50 on, which is definitely going to be needed for me. The downside to that is once you get a bit sweaty, it runs into your eyes, which is not the best. It's like an old shelter or something down there. Whew, good grief. Just walk from the road all the way up non-stop. Yeah, there's a geocache down there somewhere. We had a look for it about 5 years ago. Failed miserably. So I wrote it off. There, right, levelled out a bit. Find a convenient rock and I'll have a minute. Some chairs here nicely carved in. Whew. So we've got to get up there, which is basically just up there the path follows up, so that's the summit, and then you're on plateau. But I'll just take bag off 5 and have a drink and things and carry on. The first target I'm going to is the Lightning Wreck, which is about 0.2 of a mile that away, roughly ish, over there, and that's pretty much north, and it's about 260 from me, so it'll be over that way somewhere. But I've got to go up to the top there and then break back across here and then duck inland, and then I'm on the plateau then for the next 2 wrecks, for the Lightning and the Lancaster. But at the minute I've got to get up that. I could go hard above my pay grade or go easy. Take it easy every time. Right, it don't get done looking at it, so bag back on and crack on. Yeah, there's the waterfall. Actually more coming over it now than I anticipated, which is an outboard trickle, but I didn't expect any. But yeah, it can, you know, make an half decent one in after a lot of snow melt or a lot of rain. There's a fence line just coming into view, so 200 metres top out. That's it on the top. There's a multitude of paths. I think that one, or that one, and curls round, goes over to Lad's Leap. And that one might be this one, avoiding the mud. Possibly, looking at it. Just cut back along the top now. Oh, we're 0.2 of a mile away, and now 0.3. We're just coming up to the plateau. So I'd just avoid these mud baths and head along the fence line. I'm not sure if that's a rock or people. If it's people, they're possibly at the wreck. No reason to be stood there otherwise. Certainly a mud fest in places. Certainly squishy on this path. All the way along it's been dodge the bogs. I'm not sure, but I think that from years ago when I first came looking for this Lightning, I didn't find the wreck, but I found like a little sort of makeshift wood hut thing, which I think was supposed to be the memorial for it. Now those used to be a couple of debris pools for this, but last time I came I couldn't find the first one, so I'm not sure whether it all got consolidated into one. P38J Lightning. Right, nice to meet you. Yeah. See you later. Bye. And now just gonna head roughly over this direction to kick me over to the Lancaster. Grouse. Take a stab in the dark at that flag where the Lancaster is. And there's the shooting cabins. So the Chipmunk is, shooting cabins are there, and that's Harmfield Flats. So that's where the Chipmunk is, I think, on that sort of bit of a shoulder over there. But to get to that, there's a hell of a clough there. So normally what I do is sort of walk around the contour round off piste to get to the head of it, and then break back down. So walk over here. There's a random Union Jack and Lancaster P38J Lancaster crash site and debris and some random painted stones. That's the Lancaster, so the Lightning and the Lancaster done. I just head on to the crest of this, and I can either gear right to get over to the head of the clough, which is up there probably half a mile maybe, and then work my way back, or drop down and back up. So where you need gaiters not to stay out of the mud, but you get these errant twigs ram up your trouser leg and scratch your leg to bits. Thought I just found a random piece of wreckage then, as I just came over. It looked like a bit of aluminium with a hinge, but it's not, it's wood. Getting all excited on it. Yeah, so I've got to get over there. I'm just going to find my way that way to the head and then break up onto the top. Yeah, if you carry on, so I'm going down to Chipmunk, but if you carry on over there, there's the Liberator bomber, probably about a mile I think that way. I've always come at it from Duff Stones, so not attempted it from this side. Streamlet, just keep your eyes open. Go yomping through and you end up to your knees. And there ain't going to be many people out this way to pull you out. Just go wherever. About another 400 metres and then can break over, and as I make my way back, so rough and ready over to here, and that's probably not so bad. Got a long fence line, getting into a bit of a sort of boulder field and sort of gradually descending down to find somewhere to drop off, but you certainly have to watch your footing when you're on a down slope, because you don't know what's under your feet, or if the ground falls away rapidly at that point, or you stand at the side of a boulder, or it can get interesting if you're not watching what you're doing. It can still catch you out if you are watching what you're doing. About at the head, go work my way back that way. I've just got to sort of break down and cross. The higher up there I go, obviously the shallower the drop in and out, so either just have to be another 50-60 metres and find a way across at them stones maybe, or just drop down here and drop down and back up. I suppose much of a muchness really. I'll go big or go home, follow it over to the end I guess. So you have to watch what you're doing because the ground can fall away. A bit like that. So you see how slippy the stones are. Not too bad as it turned out. Sort of contour around or break up onto the top. Try and make my way to that where the colour changes. I think that might be part of like an access road maybe, or easier going than walking through 2-foot heather. So I've come from over there at the Lancaster. That's a sort of skirt around the top of that to the top of this clough, jump the stream, and I'll find my way back here. Now I've got to this sort of colour changed area which runs along the top of the fence line, so this should be easier walking than through wads of heather, but you can't see what's under your foot. So my tire sorted, just come through gate, but there's like a little mound which I didn't see, and I'm turning around looking at the Lancaster. You can see the flag where the Lancaster is. So I was just looking at that, sort of down. Should be approaching the Chipmunk, just here where this little fence post is. And that there is all that's left of that. 3 wrecks done, 2 locations to find. That's the Chipmunk, that's the far point on Armfield Flats. So now I've got to backtrack, just drop down to the fence, going to follow the fence back up and over this little nib. That'll take me to the access trail down to the shooting cabins. So head down for them, try and grab a sandwich pretty quick, and then crack on. What's it? It's all back now, and pretty much trail once I get to the cabin. So I should be pretty much done with all the off-piste bit shortly. Yep. It's always a bonus when you jump and the ground stays where it stays where it is and doesn't collapse. And pay attention when going through this gate so not to trip up on my arse again. I'll put the camera on just in case I didn't record the it's like a step to get over, which I didn't see. A soft landing though, I'll get that. Shooting cabin just coming to view down there. So across here about 100 metres and through the gate will drop me down to that. Over this stile. Oh, I could have just gone through the gap in the gate. I'll look on the map, because from here, supposedly down there and cuts across, joins up onto a path over there. I don't know if it does or not. I'll stick drone over it and see what I see. Right, quick sandwich and try and get drone up. Right, I'm on this alleged path dropping down the clough from the shooting cabins across the stream and then up onto a path what's going to take me up there back towards the hurricanes. So it's looking good. It's going to take me down here, and then there's a path goes up there and I've got to cut left. A couple of nice little falls, but worth a look another time. Crossing was painless as well, a bonus. This might be fun. Not too bad, plenty of vegetation to displace. Just up here now, I think the path cuts up that side. If you come up that path, which brings you up the clough, you get past a load of concrete, like supports, I presume for some pipe work or something, a bit of an old reservoir, which is drained, and as you're looking up towards Tintwhistle, you've got a rock outcrop there, sort of the largest one, about 150-200 metres to the left of that, just inland a little bit, is the Lancaster, which currently has got a Union Jack flying at it, so you can't really miss it. You can see actually that as you're walking up that path, and then you get to this fence line which takes you down to the switchbacks, which is the way I came up and went through the woods. I'm going back down, but when you get to the fence line, just where it creases, where it's going up and then it turns steep, well, just there you jump the fence and go into a couple of trees which will come visible. I can just see the tops of them, and that's where the hurricane debris is. And then say the memorial cross is by the fence on the way back down to the switchbacks. And once we've got to this fence, that's it for climbing. It's all downhill after that. It'd be worth a look. It might just be no, it's not metal, it's a grouse. Right, it's looking like this path going to take me all the way to the top of the fence line, which I don't need to do. So I'm going all the way up there, come back down, up and over it is. I say it just starts climbing here before it turns up the fence. It's a bit rocky, but you head over to them trees, just above them trees, a little, very small pool of debris, but that's just saved walking all the way up there to come back down. Right, 141 feet, you have to watch your footing in here, mind you. It's rockier than a rocky thing. Ankle breaker. I just put my bag off and took it over the other side of the fence. I'm fairly confident nobody's going to come past in the time I'm going to be in here. Somewhere in here, oh, there's a little cairn over there, so logic would determine that's where it's going to be, if anywhere. Ah, just above it, just see across. Across there and across there. Ah, here we go. And the debris there. I guess Paul and Mark's been here because the cross. Yeah, but that's your lot as far as that goes. So that's the hurricane. Well, there's the fence line, literally 120 feet away. It's right where the hill, it comes up a little bit and then it levels and then increases steep. So right there, and there's a sort of gap in the barbed wire on top of the fence. You just hop that. So you just have to watch your footing because it is bloody lethal. Got the memorial cross to go past, which I'll literally go past the side of the fence line. So that's it, it's all downhill from here now. So as you come up this thing, probably about 60 metres from the corner, if you look off to the crest, you can actually, I can see the crosses. I can see the cairn with a bit of a log in it, and I can see one of the crosses above the cairn. There's no debris in that. The debris is just to the left of it. So there's the fence, there's the wreckage right in the crease of the colour change. So to turn this corner, there's the switchbacks. So we're just going to turn to the left, and at the bottom of this bit of a hill is the cross. So that's where we're going to, down here to bottom, to cross there and then carry on, and then we're on to switchbacks back down, and then the car is just on that corner. Memorial cross in memory of the Allied air crews who lost their lives on or near this place. 3 RAF Hurricanes, 1 RAF Lancaster and 1 United States Air Force Lightning between 1944 and 48. And there was at one time a geocache, which there still is. I can just see it. So that's the end of that mission. Closes the loop. Back on the trail. Ow, ow, ow. That's how I came up this way this morning, and then that way, and then down that way. Yeah, so I'll say this is normally the car park. You come in here and you get about 4 or 5 cars in, but of course today blocked off. We're talking to a guy up at the Lightning wreck. Some Chinese guy was murdered and put in a suitcase. So I don't know if he was dismembered and put in a suitcase or crammed into a big one, I don't know. But that's where we were found, so apparently since then they've blocked it off. So that's it, Woodhead Pass. So it's Causeway now, back to the motor. Seat car from here. 6.59 miles, 3 hours 48 minutes.